Hello, I'm Jewel, and I come and I talk to you about a few different things, usually about my supernatural experiences, what I love, what I don't love. I've encountered a lot of angels, quite a few demons. I have a little story about that. Um, and a lot of supernatural things. I'm very intuitive. I read cards. I travel and teach people transcendental meditation as well as walking the labyrinth. I have a traveling labyrinth, a portable labyrinth, which I bring with me. And lately I've been on the road a little more than I normally am, and I love that. I would like to travel all the time. But the classes I've been holding have been phenomenal. But I pick up things from people, and I have a few different things I wanted to talk to y'all about today. And first, I drew a card, the wisdom card. There we go. And I found that was a great topic today. You don't gain wisdom without experience. There's something to be said about the elders, and now I'm an elder as well. But there is something to be said about experience. People are afraid of their failures, their downfalls, but that's where we learn. And the next time we try, then we do something a little bit different. Then we do something a little bit different. But here lately, I've encountered some interesting people. Not bad, not good, just interesting people. I try to always look at all situations from a point of interest. And sometimes that works for me, and sometimes it doesn't work for me. I was just in a Bible study, though, and they weren't even willing to hear anything else except for what they knew. And I honor that, I really do. But if you're not growing every day, um, then you're not gaining knowledge and wisdom. When a baby is born and first starts nursing or takes the bottle, they graduate up to solid foods. They first start with this soft food, and then they get something a little bit with more consistency, and then finally they're on solid foods. Well, your knowledge is the same way. Someone plants a seed, someone else waters the seed, and then it's in full bloom where you have wisdom and knowledge on it. But it's a process. I like when people have master before or after their name. I have it on a couple of my titles too. But I feel like I've mastered that section of what I'm trying to learn. But, here on earth, we have to put people in categories. And we're gay or lesbian, we're straight, we're Christian, we're New Age. How come we just can't be? That's always been my kind of wonder, is how come we just can't be? How come we have to go into a category? If, for instance, I want to date a man, then I shall date a man. If I want to date a woman, then I shall date a woman. Why do I have to be straight? Why do I have to be gay? I understand the downfalls of dating the same sex. I know it is a very prejudiced, just ridiculous thing for some people to have to go through. But if we would just learn to live life, live life. I am a Christ follower. I do not like religion. There is so much in the churches today that just don't even make sense to me. And a Bible study that I went to the other day, they weren't even willing to open their eyes to something else. They've been preaching the same thing. Well, they said they've been going to church since the 90s. So they're on the same thing since the 90s and not even willing to venture out and hear something different. For me, there's a few things that I know to be a fact. I know that a prayer language, light language, speaking in tongues, is a real thing. I know that to be a fact. I can do it. My children can do it. My ex-husband can do it. I have friends that are spirit-filled. I have friends that are not Christ followers, and they have a prayer language. They call it a light language. How come we just can't honor people's places where they are? For me, Christ is. I am a Christ follower. It's my teaching. It's my love. But I don't believe in religious bullshit. I don't believe some of the things that the religious people say. It's just, it doesn't resonate with what Christ came and said. So if we would learn to live by the word and walk in peace and love, walk in peace and love. That was the added commandment, walk in love. Just walk in love. But I find that the intolerance of a lot of people is the same intolerance people are using against them. So it's just a vicious cycle at all times. So my thought today is, why labels? Why can't we just do what we do and be happy in it, rejoice in it? If we're not out to hurt someone, steal, kill, destroy, then let's be happy for each other. Let's walk in peace, and let's hear what other people have to say. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Just dismiss it, disregard it. Take in what resonates and let go what doesn't. But we're in such a fast-paced world today that we don't take time to care for other people. We don't take time to love other people. We don't take time to listen. We don't take time to speak. It's a very interesting scenario. And along those lines, I started seeing clients again. I'm a healing practitioner of almost 30 years, and I'm a Reiki master. Love the title. I understand. But I saw a client, and we were talking about discernment of spirit. And I told her, I have a pretty good discernment of spirit. I just have, through the years, learned to trust my gut, trust my feelings, listen to my Lord. Actually, it's in my heart, not my head. But after she left, we discussed this, and after she left, I left with another friend to drive through our mountains, which I do every evening, and looking for the mama bear and the baby bears we have happening right now. And of course, I take my dogs for a ride because that's our routine. But I stepped out of my car and walked behind my car, and I felt something push me forward from between my shoulder blades, and I actually fell and hit my head on a post. I hit my arms on a little rim that the gas pumps on, a little curb, hit my knees, and I was laying there with my head up against the post, and not knowing that these people were around. But all of a sudden, this man came up to me and said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And I was kind of stunned. I was just kind of stunned. I hit my head and my teeth. And the first thing I said to him is, "Are my teeth there?" Very important to me. And he said, "Yes, your teeth are there." And then I said, "Yeah, I'll be okay." And when I turned over to sit on my bottom, all these people are standing at the pumps just staring. But I found it interesting that no one came over to help. I learned later that this man was all the way across the gas pumps and saw me fall. And I thought, how sad that now we live in a society that people are so afraid or so desensitized that we don't help each other. I got up and I'm fine. My back still hurts, but I'm fine. But I just thought it was so interesting that we have that fear. And then my next thought was how interesting that something pushed me. After I had the conversation of my discernment of spirit and that I'm pretty confident in it, found it very interesting that I was pushed from in between my scapulas, right between my shoulders, and pushed forward. And so later on, I saw my client at a market, and I was telling her that, and she said, "Oh, we need to get together." She said when she left another therapist a while back, the same thing happened to her. And I found it so interesting that, I was just talking about how I picked up on that to her, and then that happened, and the same thing happened, and she's a healing practitioner, and hasn't cleared herself. Now we all go through times that we need to be cleared, that we have taken on this energy that we don't need. But if we're touching clients or other people, we need to make sure that we have grounded ourselves, that we don't pick up on their energy, and that we don't have anything negative that we're handing off as well. So it's kind of a two-way street. But I get amazed at in the human form, physical form, how we are not in really contact with each other. We're so afraid, again, of lawsuits or whatever, that we don't really help each other. But in the spiritual form, are we staying in tune? Are we staying in tune? Well, obviously, I did not stay in tune, because if I am in tuned and I'm doing my belief system, those kind of evil entities cannot touch me. And I say that with confidence from my belief system. And I think I told you about recently, Mom and I in a car, and we were eating lunch facing a busy road. And when we went to leave, I heard a loud noise. We were going to the trash can, and I looked up, and a car was airborne at Mother's window. And I had said first, don't let her see it. I don't want her to be scared. And then I started praying in tongues, in my prayer language, in my light language, in the heavenly language, whatever your verbiage needs to be, and just asking the Lord to help us. And all of a sudden, this car goes up and over our car, goes back around and lands nose down in the parking place where we had been parked, and then moves on straight across a little medium strip and hits a building. She gets out texting, the girl in the car. I turn around and I'm not boo-hooing crying, but crying. And Mother the whole time is saying, what's the matter? What's the matter? What happened? And then someone ran to our car, people ran to our car and was going, are y'all all right? Are y'all all right? Did you know that car went over you? And Mom, through my prayer of don't let her see this, saw none of it. She saw none of it. And she wouldn't have probably believed me if people hadn't have run over and told her, a car went right over y'all. But it was at her window. And through the power of prayer, intention, whatever the verbiage is, it manifested the car to move up and go. Now for me, I believe in angels. I believe that I put my prayer out there and that it came to pass. That is my belief system. We do manifest things with the words of our mouth. We manifest with the words, the thoughts in our mind and our heart. But when things start to manifest and it comes out of the heart, they come to pass. If you think with just your mind, you don't have the energy or power behind it for it to manifest like you would like for it to. And that's why we see some things come to pass and some things not come to pass. It's the power or energy or force that we put behind it, and it's got to be heartfelt, not just head felt. We can say mediocre intentions or prayers, and they're just, people will say, pray for me, and we'll say, oh, I pray for you and pray for your healing in the name of Jesus. And those are just words coming out. It's not felt right here. When you pray for someone, you get in the zone. You get in the zone. You meditate. You get your heart open. Not just your head and the words of your mouth. That's what happens, and I think in all belief systems, as we read that book and we work out of head knowledge and not heart knowledge, and I know I've talked about that before, but we would see so much manifest when we put our prayer to God, to universe, to your higher power, and trust that our manifestation is coming to pass because we believe that to be true. Otherwise, what we do is we put it out in the universe or out in prayer, supplication, and we just take it back and pray for it again the next day. take it back and pray for it again the next day. And we never give it time to manifest. We never give it time to come to pass. People expect quick, easy magic. And some things do come quick and easy, but sometimes there's a process. Sometimes there's a process. Sometimes it's just filling it with your heart, not just your head. So anyway, my talk really, it's going all over the place again, I know, but I just get so sad that people aren't open to learn more. They're not, if you are not laying hands on people and then recovering, Reiki, therapeutic touch, light touch, don't care what you call it, then we still have things to learn. I have seen a lot, and I have a lot more to learn. I think I've told y'all about the dog that had the broken leg that we laid hands on, and he stayed healed for 8 more years until it was time for him to pass, and then his leg went limp again. Someone had shot him, and it shattered his bone. There's so much to learn out there. I just pray that we keep our eyes open. I pray that we quit drinking from the bottle and we get more knowledge. I pray that we quit being so opinionated and not able to listen to what other people said. Everybody knows something. Everybody knows something. And if you're not practicing in the dark arts and doing evil things, then there's a lot to learn. And if that's your thing, then that's not what resonates with me. I resonate with people that walk in peace and love. I've studied Buddhism, medicine Buddhism. I have meditated since I was 12. I teach people how to walk the labyrinth, the walking meditation. I see clients to heal their body. Most of my clients have always been clients that have exhausted westernized medicine and they're ready for something else. If you're not seeing manifestation, though, of what you're doing, find out if you're thinking from your head or if you've actually processed it through your heart. Book knowledge is wonderful. It is how we learn. But when it comes from here to here, will make all the difference in the world. So next week I go to this Bible study again. I do believe, though, if it doesn't grow you, your spirit, if it doesn't give you positive motivation, positive thoughts, then stay away from it, whatever that might be. A lot of us watch things that are very negative, that feed us negative information. Look at the news, all negative, all craziness. Those that watch that embeds in you, and that is what you start dwelling on and thinking of. If it does not feed your spirits, then you probably should not be doing it. If it is not helping you grow in a healthy, positive light, then you probably should not be taking part in it. It is a day-to-day walk. It is a practice until it becomes heart knowledge. I hope everyone gets up daily and prays to your higher power. I hope everyone sits quietly through the day and meditates so you can hear the answer from your higher power. I hope you learn to get knowledge from your head to your heart. I hope that all of us learn to walk in peace and love. These things on the earth, they really don't matter. There's things we have to have, but I count on my God to supply. I have to keep moving. I have to keep doing things to manifest something different. But I tell you what, you will be amazed if you put it into prayer and supplication and leave it alone. Is your God big enough? Is your goddess, is your universe, is your higher power big enough to manifest what you've asked for? Because mine is, and it comes to pass. And I don't have it instantly. It's not a quick thing always. Sometimes it is. Sometimes I pray for it and it'll show up, or that person will show up, or that whatever I could be praying for, that peace. Sometimes we just pray for peace. I, and some things, it's a process. It takes time. I have something in prayer that's been in prayer for a while, but I just had a dream about it, and it was a very positive dream. And I woke up and thought, I hear you, God. I hear you, and I know that the answer is coming, that the result I'm praying for, it's on its way, but there is a process, especially if it involves someone else. Their heart has to be there. There's changes that have to be made. So we just put it into prayer and count on God, higher power, universe, spirit, great spirit, Holy Spirit, to do their work. Do you trust your higher power? Do you see results from your higher power? Are you open to learning more? Are you opening to listening to what people have to say, discarding what you don't want, and then researching and resonating what you do want? You can take my words or your pastor words or your teacher's words all day long, but when you get it in your heart, then they'll be your words. It'll be your thought system. Always research, always look. If it doesn't resonate, probably don't do it. If it doesn't feel good in your spirit, it's probably a sign not to do it. I encourage you to walk in peace and love. Go out there, make mistakes. Go out there and try everything you want to try. Do it with love in your heart. Be kind to one another. Gain your wisdom. If you're not out doing stuff, get out of your routine. Gain some wisdom out there that you can share with someone else. Your battle will be someone else's. You'll be someone's help later on because you've experienced something. Share your experiences. Anyway, walk in peace and love. Thank you.